What does it look like when someone who's spent years in the public eye finally starts to put the pieces of her life back together, one careful step at a time? For Jill Duggar, that process is still unfolding. The former 19 Kids and Counting star has faced layers of loss, physical recovery, and family upheaval, yet she continues to speak about healing with quiet determination. Recent updates show her focusing on the day-to-day work of recovery while holding on to hope for brighter days ahead. If you've followed her journey, you know the road hasn't been smooth. Stick around, because the latest chapter reveals how she's navigating it all with her husband and 3 sons. Jill grew up as one of 19 children in the Duggar family, whose large, tightly structured household became the center of a long-running TLC reality series. What began as documentaries about their faith-based lifestyle evolved into 19 Kids and Counting and later Counting On. Jill married Derek Dillard in 2014. Together they have 3 sons, Israel, Samuel, and Frederick, and have walked through 2 profound pregnancy losses. In her 2023 memoir Counting the Cost, she described the financial, emotional, and relational toll of growing up on television and later stepping away from the family spotlight. She has been open about therapy, setting boundaries, and working through complicated dynamics with her parents. That background matters because the challenges she's faced more recently sit on top of years of public scrutiny and private recovery. In early February 2026, Jill marked the 1-year anniversary of a frightening car accident that left her family shaken and still dealing with the aftereffects. She shared that the family was stopped at a red light when an unlicensed driver hit them from behind at full speed. All of their children were in the vehicle. Jill described the moment as scary and said it shook everyone involved. While she expressed gratitude that the outcome wasn't worse, she noted that the year that followed brought more medical attention than the family first expected: scans, physical therapy, chiropractic care, and repeated doctor visits for multiple family members. In her own words, she thanked God for continued grace and prayed that the next year would bring continued healing. Those posts included images of her in a hospital gown and working through rehab exercises, along with a photo of the damaged vehicle. The update painted a clear picture of a family still in the middle of recovery rather than past it. Around the same time, Jill has continued processing the stillbirth of her daughter Isla Marie. The couple announced the loss in April 2024 after learning the baby had died in utero when Jill was about 4 months pregnant. They had already chosen a name and were looking forward to introducing a little sister to their 3 boys. In the months and years since, Jill has returned to Isla's grave and spoken openly about the mix of joy and sorrow that comes with grief. In late February 2026, she posted from the cemetery, reflecting on how life holds both roses and thorns and how quiet moments can bring the waves of loss back strongly. She expressed gratitude for having a physical place to remember her daughter. These reflections show a woman who is not rushing past pain but allowing space for it while still moving forward with her living children. Layered on top of the physical recovery and ongoing grief is a major family transition. In April 2026, Jill and Derek announced that Derek had enlisted in the U.S. Marine Corps as an officer candidate. The news came with photos of him taking the oath while their sons looked on. Derek, who had previously passed the bar exam and become a licensed attorney, began the process earlier that spring. Plans called for him to ship out for intense training at Officer Candidate School, after which Jill and the boys would eventually join him, first in Virginia and then Rhode Island. The couple asked for prayers for strength during the separation and the upcoming moves. For a family already managing medical appointments and emotional recovery, the prospect of relocating and adjusting to military life adds another significant change. Jill has also spoken publicly in response to legal troubles involving her brother Joseph Duggar. After his March 2026 arrest on child molestation charges, She and Derek released a statement saying they were shocked and heartbroken. They strongly condemned abuse, supported the rule of law, and expressed hope that justice would be served. Their hearts, they said, went out to the alleged juvenile victim and her family. The statement aligned with Jill's earlier willingness to address difficult family history, including the abuse she and some of her sisters experienced as children at the hands of their oldest brother Josh, who is currently serving a federal sentence. Through all of this, Jill has described her relationship with her parents as complicated yet in a rebuilding phase. She has noted that healthy boundaries remain in place and that the family gathers when everyone has the emotional bandwidth. Occasional updates show moments of connection, shared holidays, birthday gatherings, and supportive appearances with sisters, while still acknowledging that full restoration is a process rather than a finished event. Her earlier memoir and interviews made clear that therapy and her marriage have been central tools in sorting through triggers, redefining faith on her own terms, and finding her voice. Public response to Jill's updates has generally been supportive of her focus on healing and family. Many viewers who followed the Duggars for years have expressed empathy for the car accident recovery and the ongoing grief over Isla. Comments often highlight appreciation for her honesty about physical therapy, doctor visits, and the slower pace of real recovery. Others note the weight of yet another family scandal involving Joseph and respect the clear stance Jill and Derek took in their statement. Some observers point out the contrast between Jill's more independent path, leaving the family show years ago, writing a candid book, and now preparing for a military move, and the continued legal troubles surrounding certain siblings. Media coverage has largely framed her posts as steady, faith-filled updates rather than dramatic reveals. Social media conversations tend to mix encouragement with recognition that the Duggar name still carries heavy public associations, yet many separate Jill's personal progress from the broader family narrative. Looking ahead, several developments are already in motion. Derek's Marine Corps training timeline means the family will soon face temporary separation followed by relocation. Jill has indicated she is preparing for those transitions while continuing medical follow-up related to the accident. No new public announcements have detailed specific health milestones, but her February 2026 post made clear that evaluation and therapy remain part of the family's routine. Viewers can also watch for any further updates on how the family balances military life with raising 3 young boys and maintaining the boundaries she has described with her extended family. Any additional statements regarding Joseph's legal cases would likely come only if Jill and Derek choose to address them directly, as they did earlier. Jill Duggar-Dillard's recent chapters show a woman steadily working through layered challenges: physical recovery from a serious car accident, the lasting ache of pregnancy loss, a major career and location change for her husband, and the complicated process of relating to a high-profile family still dealing with public scandals. She has not claimed to have everything figured out. Instead, she has spoken about continued healing, gratitude for progress, and hope for what comes next. The car accident anniversary post, the quiet visits to Isla's grave, the Marine Corps announcement, and the measured response to her brother's arrest all point to the same theme. She is moving forward one deliberate step at a time, counting on a better tomorrow while doing the hard work of today. What are your thoughts on this latest Duggar family update? Share your opinion in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another Duggar family update.